college algebra practice test. All right. So let us just get into this. It says, which of the following equation has the same solution as 5x plus 8, which is equal to x minus 9? All right, so what we're going to do is basically we're going to take this, manipulate it, and then keep looking at the solutions, okay? So we're looking at 5x plus 8, which is equal to x minus 9. I'm going to try to call it my x's on one side. So basically, I'm going to subtract x from both sides. And at the same time, this 8 that is on the left side, I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides as well. So basically, this becomes 0, that part becomes 0. So 5x minus x will give me 4x, and this is equal to negative 9 minus 8, which is negative 17. So I'm going to check to see if I'm seeing this right now. And definitely, we're seeing it at E. So the second question says, simplify negative 2x to the fourth all raised to the third. And this is going to be multiplied by negative 2x squared all squared. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to handle what's inside the parentheses first. Remember that when a power is raised to a power, we multiply the index or the powers. So for example, if I have a raised to the n and this is raised to the b, then what we really have is a raised to the n b. So whenever a power is raised to a power, we multiply powers. So we're going to have to take great consideration for that. So firstly, let me focus on this here. So it's going to be negative 2, and this is going to be raised to the third. Then I'm going to actually have then I'm going to have x to the fourth, and this will be raised to the third. Okay. All right. If we look at that, basically what I'm going to have is negative 8, because negative 2 raised to the third is negative 8. And then we'll have x to the 3 times 4, 12. Now, for this part, what I'm actually having is negative 2 x squared, and then this is squared. What that really is that the negative 2 will be squared, and then x to the second will be squared. So we are actually looking at, when you square negative 2, you get positive 4, and then x to the second being squared becomes x to the fourth. Remember now, these are multiplying. So basically, we have negative 8x to the 12 is being multiplied by 4x to the fourth. But remember, negative 8 times 4, that's negative 32. And then x to the 12, when you multiply the same letters, you add their powers. So it's going to be negative 32 and then x raised to the 16th. So we're looking for that, and it's right here. So the other question says, if f of x is equal to the square root of 7 minus x, then which of the following set is the domain of this function? In other words, then, what it is that we know about a square root? We definitely know that we cannot take the square root of a negative number, right? So basically then we're suggesting that if we take this, and it is called the radicand, this, which is 7 minus x, has to be greater than or equal to 0 for you to be able to take the square root of it. So we're going to solve this. So basically, there are quite a number of ways we could solve this ways. We could subtract 7 from both sides. So I'm looking at negative x, which is greater than or equal to negative 7. Then I'm going to divide, right, by negative 1, negative 1. But whenever you divide or multiply by a negative number, your inequality will flip. So this will now flip to less than or equal to 7. So the solution I'm looking for, x is less than or equal to 7, and I'm looking for that, and it is at A. All right, let's go to our fourth question. All right, it says, one of the factors of 3x squared plus 8x minus 35 is what? So for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to try to factorize this, okay? So so my A, just going to do this quickly, is 3, my B is equal to 8, and my C is equal to negative 35. So I'm going to find AC, which means 3 times negative 35. This is going to give me about negative 105. What are the factors of this? I'm thinking quickly. It's 15 and 7. Okay, so if I multiply 15 times 7, I'll get this. So I'm going to use, because this 8 is positive, I'm going to use positive 15 with a minus 7, right? So basically 3x squared plus 15x minus 7x minus 35. So I'm going to factorize by grouping these. So I'm looking at 3x, and then I'm going to have x plus 5, and then I have negative 7, and then I'm going to have x plus 5. So this will give me, so my factors are as follows. 3x minus 7, that's 1, and then x plus 5, that's the other. And therefore, you should look carefully. This is the one that we're seeing, okay? So that's just one of the ways you could do it, all right? All right, so I'm going to try this last one, and then we stop. It says one solution of 3x squared plus 7x minus 6 equals 0 is what? I could factorize this again. So with this, let's factorize this quickly. My A value is 3. My B value is 7. My C value is negative 6. My A, C is 3 times negative 6, and this is negative 18. So it's 9. So I'm using a 9 and a 2. So it's a, so I look at my B value, it's positive. So it's going to be positive 9 and negative 2. That would work. Okay, so it's going to be 3x squared plus 9x minus, it's going to be minus 2x, then plus 6. Hold on, not plus 6. Let me write this better. So it's minus 2x minus 6 equals 0. So 3x, if I divide 3x into this, I'm going to, into this part, I'm going to have x. 3x into this will give me 3. And then negative 2 into negative 2x is going to give me x. Negative 2 into negative 6 will give me positive 3. This is equal to 0. Now, I'm going to factorize out this quickly. So I have x plus 3, and then 3x minus 2 equals 0. Either of these would be 0. So x plus 3 could give us a solution. 3x minus 2 could give us a solution. So either or with equal to 0. So we're looking to see what's up. Let us solve them. So x minus 3, x is equal to minus 3. This is a solution. It's not there. So that means if I solve this one, 3x minus 2, if I add 2 to both sides, then 3x is equal to 2, then divide by 3. So x is equal to 2 over 3. And we're looking for that, and my answer is here.